Welcome to the Healthy Relationships Safety Training presented by the Butler County Board of Developmental Disabilities in Hamilton, Ohio. We all want to belong. We all want to love and be loved. We were made to be in relationships with others. No matter what gender we are, what age we are, what abilities or disabilities we have, it's important that we understand how to create and maintain healthy relationships and how to keep ourselves safe. When we are connected in healthy relationships with others, we're safer because we have people who are watching out for us and people we can turn to for help. But when we're isolated, we're vulnerable and we become a target for victimization. People who want to hurt us might target us if we are isolated from others because it's less likely that someone else will find out. When we are isolated and lonely, we are not having our need for relationships and physical touch met. So we become desperate and search for it in unhealthy ways, or we tolerate unhealthy relationships because that's all we know or have, and it's better than nothing at all. So this is a relationship circle. In the very middle there is you, and we're gonna work our way in from the outside. So we'll start with strangers. Strangers are people we might see when we're out and about, but we don't know their names. We don't know anything about them. And in each of these categories, we're going to talk about what is appropriate as far as physical touch and topics of conversation. So with strangers, there's no situation at all that touch or affection would be appropriate. The only thing I can think of is like if you bump into somebody, that's the only, like, accidental touching would be the only thing that I can think of that would be appropriate for that. As far as topics of conversation, you can say hello. You can comment on the environment or the atmosphere, the weather, but that's really it. Unless somebody bumps into you and says, "Excuse me," that's really all that is warranted with strangers. The next circle includes our weak connections. These are with people that we see on a regular basis, but we don't really know that well. We might know their names, we might know a little bit about them, but we don't go into in-depth conversation. If we do talk, it is surface level and it's positive. The only type of touch that would be appropriate in this circle would be like a handshake when you're greeting each other, or a high five if the group has done well with something. These are not people that you hang out with outside of work or school or an exercise class. You're only brought together because of that mutual interest. With this next group, this is your strong connections. So this includes your family and your close friends, and maybe a boyfriend or a girlfriend. The type of touch that's appropriate in this circle, depending on the relationship that you have, would include hugging, holding hands, kissing, holding each other, cuddling, or having your arm around each other. As far as topics of conversation, you talk about both positive and negative things. And if there is a conflict, you work it out together because you both value that relationship and you want to make it stronger. This is also the group of people that you're intentional about spending time with. So you don't just wait for circumstances to bring you together. You really make it happen. You get together on purpose. And that last circle closest to you is your safe person or your safe people if you have more than one person. So this person could be either a family member or a friend, somebody that you have known for a long time, that you've gotten to know and trust. They are honest with you, they're always there for you, and they always are willing to help you when you need it. The only healthy way that somebody can move from the outside of your relationship circle to the inside of your relationship circle is over time. Because there's a lot of things that we need to observe and learn about that person before we know that we can trust them and that they're honest people who are in our lives for the right reasons. So you wouldn't meet a stranger and automatically start calling them your boyfriend and holding hands with them and having them over to your house, because that person's still a stranger, no matter how badly you want a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It also doesn't matter how nice somebody is because, like I said, it takes time to find out if somebody is being honest and genuine with you. Anybody can pretend to be kind. Um, if they're in your life for the wrong reasons, though, you will find that out over time. Now, even though it takes a long time for somebody to get towards that inner circle and closer to you and become a bigger part of your life, it can take just a split second for someone to be removed from that inner circle onto the outside of your relationship circle. If someone hurts you deeply or they abuse you, you have the right to kick them out of your circle and they no longer have access to your private conversation, to touching your body, nothing. They have no more right to be close to you. However, that is a decision that you need to make on your own. That's a decision only you can make. But if you are confused and you want to talk to somebody about it, your safe person would be that person to go and talk about it with and decide together where that person should be in your life and if they should be in your life at all. At the center of the circle is you. And this relationship is just as important, if not more important than any other relationship in your circle. So you need to take care of yourself. And some of the ways we can do that is to do things that you enjoy. You need to rest. You can speak to yourself in kind and supportive words. If you wouldn't say something mean to a friend, don't say it to yourself. Treat yourself like a good friend. Give yourself grace. We all make mistakes. So just understand that you're human and that's part of the growing process. Speak up for yourself and make sure that your boundaries are being respected by others. Reach out for the help you need. And it's okay to keep some thoughts to yourself. Your mind is private, it's your own, and no one can take that from you. So what's in there, you can keep to yourself if you would like to. It is always your decision whether or not you share your thoughts with others. A question I get a lot is how to make friends and where to make friends. And I think that this is really important to talk about when we're talking about safety because there are ways that we can make friends that are not very safe. And so I would much rather talk about this and include it in our safety training than have people lonely or seeking out friendships and relationships in unhealthy ways. So in this example, you have two situations. On the left, you have a guy that is watching, it looks like he's watching a sports game on TV by himself. He's cheering the team on, but he's alone. And then on the right, you see a group of people out at a bar, like a sports bar, watching the game on TV, but they're all together and they're all celebrating together. And like both situations look really fun, but the one on the right looks way more fun than the one on the left because there are more people involved. And the more people that are involved and that are around you and celebrating something, more the better chance you have of meeting someone and developing a friendship around a similar interest. I know going out and meeting new people, it can be really scary. I know I struggle with anxiety myself, especially social anxiety. So this can be a real challenge for some people, but being alone is not safe and it's not healthy. So it's better to be brave and to go out and make friends, meet people, spend time with others. So the risk is worth it, in my opinion. And I just want to encourage you to go out and enjoy something that you would enjoy anyway, but enjoy it with other people. Take that risk and try to make a new friend. So on this slide, we see a man on the left. He is probably at home, sitting in front of his computer by himself, eating a hamburger. And he looks like he's enjoying himself, but he's by himself. And there's no possible way that he could make a friend in that situation. So on the right, we have another group of people that are enjoying their dinner together. They're making hamburgers and hot dogs and having a good time, laughing, chatting. Maybe it's a neighborhood party. Maybe it's a group of friends. Maybe it's family even. But in that situation, if he were to join that group of people and eat his dinner with them, he would be so much more likely to meet someone new and make a new relationship, make a new friend. So it just really depends on every day, what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to stick by yourself and feel lonely, or are you going to put yourself out there and try to make a new relationship? On this slide, we have two different scenarios. On the left, we have a girl who is reading or studying her classwork by herself. And then on the right, we have a group of students who are reading or doing classwork together. The girl on the left looks a bit sad, but she's alone. And so being alone is not always a bad thing. I know when I was studying or when I read, I like to be alone because it helps me focus. But if you're able to do a book club or join with other people who are studying something the same as you are, then put yourself out there. Go join that group, spend an hour with these people, and try to make a connection. Here's one more example of an activity that we do frequently. We work out. And when you're going to work out, you have a choice. Do you want to work out at home by yourself, or do you want to work out at a gym or go to an exercise class where you might meet other people who are also interested in exercising? We're most likely to meet a friend and make a connection with somebody who has a similar interest as us. So if you're hanging out with these girls and you're interested in working out too, you can start the conversation about exercise. That's something that you have in common that you can share and connect on. And then from there, you can move on to other topics or, try to get together outside of that exercise class. So like I said, if you make a connection, you meet somebody that you're interested in getting to know better, whether it's somebody at the bar watching the game, or it's somebody at the cookout that you've been to, or somebody in your book club, or somebody at the gym. If it goes well and that first initial meeting goes well, you can invite them to hang out after that outside of that space where you first met them. So some options that you could suggest are playing basketball at the gym together. You could go get coffee at the new coffee shop in town. You could play with your dogs together at the park. You could get dinner together with you and just that other person, like if it's a date or if you just want to really get to know someone one-on-one, or you could also invite them to go with you and your friends. And then you could also go shopping in downtown Hamilton. I give these examples to kind of show you some healthy ways to get to know someone. It's not, inviting them to your house to watch Netflix. That is not a safe way to get to know someone. But hanging out at a public place during the daytime where other people are around and where you both get there separately so that you both have a transportation option to leave separately. This can just kind of be a way to get a friendship started. So these are just some concrete ideas that you can borrow and try them out with somebody. So once we've met someone and we spent a little extra time with them, how can we determine whether or not they're a friend and someone that we would want to continue this relationship with? So you might decide that you want someone to become a friend in your life if you're hanging out with them and having fun, if you share similar interests with them, if they listen to you, if they never make you do anything you don't want to do, if they don't hurt you, and if they are kind and supportive and encouraging to you. I call this the Healthy Relationships Wheel, and each section on this wheel is an important part of what makes a healthy relationship. And you'll notice on the inside of that wheel is respect. So all of these things revolve around respect. The first section we'll talk about is setting boundaries, and this includes both physical and emotional boundaries. So say you are in a dating relationship and you really don't feel comfortable with kissing, you'd rather just hold hands. In a healthy relationship, this is a boundary that the other person would respect. They would not try to change your mind or pressure you into kissing. They wouldn't make you feel stupid for not kissing. This is something that they would just honor because they respect you and they care about you. At the same time, an emotional boundary is very similar. So if you have a friend, a close friend, it's kind of an unwritten rule that they will be kind to you, nice to you, and if they say something that hurts your feelings, they will care enough to say they're sorry. If they don't say they're sorry and they don't seem to care at all about how something made you feel, if they just make you feel dumb for being offended or being sensitive, then that might be a friendship that you would want to end. We also want to make sure that we are respecting the boundaries of the other person in the relationship. So it's not just all about us and having our own boundaries in place, but making sure that we are honoring the boundaries set by that other person as well. In a healthy relationship, you also feel safe. So this means that your boundaries are being respected, you can let your guard down, you feel safe to be who you are and to be genuine, that you're not going to be judged or mocked or hurt by the other person, either physically or emotionally. You feel safe because you know that that other person has the best intentions for you, that they care about you, and they want the very best for you. Another part of a healthy relationship is giving support and receiving support. So this is important because we want the other person to make sure that they know we're there for them, we've got their back, and that we're going to be there if something falls apart in their life or if they're struggling with something. Um, we This doesn't mean that we have to always agree with the choices that the other person has made, but we are we are committed to trying to understand that person and to respecting their decisions. Communication is really important for healthy relationships because it means that you are able to be open and honest with that other person. You're able to just be yourself, and also it means that you're able to deal with conflict in a healthy way, in a constructive way. So throughout the course of a relationship, things are not going to always be easy, but that's what makes relationships stronger over time. So when you're able to communicate well, conflict can really be a growth experience for you and the other person in the relationship that you share. A healthy relationship is filled with the good stuff of life. So, do you enjoy each other's company? Are you energized around each other? Do you feel good about yourself when you're with that person? Do you laugh and do you smile? Do you relax? Are you able to just be silly and have fun? That is so important in a relationship. Developing trust is also really important for a healthy relationship because it, over time, trust can help us believe that this person's telling us the truth, that they have the best intentions for us, and that they also are encouraging, and we are also encouraging them to have other relationships. So when you have trust, then it doesn't matter who else the person is friends with or is talking with, because you know that they are being loyal to your relationship that you have together. Respect is at the center of all of these things, the center of a healthy relationship. You need to make sure that you're respecting the boundaries that have been set and that your boundaries are being respected, that you're speaking to the other person and you're being spoken to with kindness and respect. You need to respect the privacy of others, and your privacy needs to be respected. You need to tell the truth so that others can trust you, and you need to be able to trust the other person. You need to remain loyal and committed in your relationships. So, a healthy relationship doesn't look like you hanging out with your best friend and then going and gossiping about your best friend to someone else. That's not respect. You don't try to change others. You respect their individuality. You respect their decisions. And you respect their opinions and their beliefs, even if you don't agree with them. If there's not respect in the relationship, then it can't be a healthy relationship. Now I'm going to do a little exercise. So I'm going to read some different scenarios, and I want you to think about if that sounds healthy or unhealthy. So I'll read the scenario and then I will say whether it's healthy or unhealthy, and you can check your answers. You are dependent upon this person and you never want to be apart. Is that healthy or unhealthy? I say that's unhealthy because you're both independent people and it's healthy to spend time alone as well as together. There has to be a balance. You also spend time with your other friends and your family members. Is this healthy or unhealthy? This is healthy because it's important that you maintain the relationships with other people in your life and not just focus on one. Again, balance is important. Being around this person makes you tired. Healthy or unhealthy? That's unhealthy because a healthy relationship, um, the person gives you energy. They give you goodness and fill you with joy, and with joy comes energy. But when you're working really hard to make something work, or you're always on edge, or you don't feel safe, that can make you feel tired. When there is a conflict, you talk about it together. Healthy or unhealthy? Healthy, because you need to be able to communicate well in order to go through the hard stuff together. You are always apologizing even when it's not your fault. Healthy or unhealthy? Unhealthy. It's not okay to always apologize. Especially when it's not your fault. We don't want to always be apologizing for things, because then when we do apologize, it's not taken seriously. And when we are apologizing, it's like we feel weak and we feel small. And in a balanced, healthy relationship, we should feel like we're equals with that other person. When this person hurts your feelings, you tell them. Healthy or unhealthy? That's healthy because as far as communication goes, it's really important that you let them know when they've hurt your feelings so that they can apologize and you guys can become stronger because of it. But if you hold it in, then you're not able to work through it together. This is not an easy thing to do. This is a very difficult thing to do, to tell someone that they've hurt you, but it's really important if you're going to maintain a healthy relationship. You never feel comfortable disagreeing with this person. Healthy or unhealthy? This is unhealthy because you need to be able to speak up for yourself and disagree with this person, feeling safe that the other person's not going to get mad and say mean things or do something crazy. I don't know. You should be able to have a differing opinion, a different point of view, and be able to express that. You never really know if you can trust what this person says. Healthy or unhealthy? Unhealthy, because trust and respect are huge in healthy relationships. So if you don't know that you can really trust what that person says, then you don't have a lot of faith in them. This person is always embarrassing you in front of others. Healthy or unhealthy? This is unhealthy because a healthy relationship with someone, remember, is centered around respect. And if this person is always embarrassing you in front of other people, making fun of you or pointing out your mistakes or arguing with you in public, that does not show that they respect you and they care about how you're feeling. And finally, this person respects my privacy and my need for alone time. Healthy or unhealthy? This is healthy because this person is, first of all, respecting your privacy, and second of all, they understand that they're not the only important thing in your life, that you have to take time to care for yourself, to spend time with other people. And so they're giving you space. They're respecting that boundary of privacy, which is really important in a healthy relationship. This image represents that relationships are on a sliding scale. So not all healthy relationships are going to be perfect 100% of the time. People hurt each other. We're human. We make mistakes. And so when that happens, our relationship kind of slides down the scale towards a little unhealthy. And it's kind of like a living, breathing thing that you have to take care of. So over time, if you just let things kind of get swept under the rug, you don't speak up for yourself, you don't talk about things that have hurt your feelings, you don't spend time together, maybe you disagree about something and the other person doesn't feel respected in their decision, these things can build up over time and make that relationship sick. So you have to build it back up and make it healthy again. You have to breathe life into it again. And you do that by communicating well. You do that by talking about things that have come up between you two. You forgive, you speak truth and support and encouragement to each other so that that can slide back towards healthy again and be a really positive thing in your lives. At the same time, there are some people who might pretend to be healthy and positive in your life, but they do very surface level things like they're nice to you, they buy you things, they tell you you're pretty. They do things that will make them look good and that will butter you up. But it's the subtle things, the everyday kind of things that you can really tell whether or not that person is of good character and if they're a healthy influence in your life. You want to make sure that you're paying attention to how this person is treating you behind closed doors when no one else is watching or listening. So are they trying to separate you from your family by saying negative things about your family and trying to get you to turn against your family and disagree with them about things? Are they making you feel guilty about spending time with other people and making you feel like you need to spend all of your time or most of your time with them? Are they constantly pointing out your mistakes and making you feel like it's all your fault? Even when you bring something to them that they've hurt you with, they somehow turn it around and make it all about you and how you hurt them. And so then you're the one apologizing when you originally were the one that needed to be apologized to. Are you walking on eggshells? Do you feel like you have to be careful with what you're saying because you're afraid that if you say the wrong thing, that person will get really mad? So it's tricky. It's really difficult sometimes to figure out if somebody is a good person and if this is a healthy relationship. So, look a little deeper, and if something is making you uncomfortable, if you're getting tired when you're around this person, if you're just kind of irritable and people are starting to notice that you're acting different or that you're not investing in the relationship with them, like you're just neglecting your friendships or your relationships with your family members, your family and your friends will start to speak up over time, and they can kind of see changes that you're not aware of and can help you get out of an unhealthy relationship if you're caught up in one. So it really all just comes down to respect. Is that person respecting you in the small ways? Are they honoring you? Do they care about how you feel? And are they able to apologize when it's needed? Again, this is why we give people time to show who they really are, because people can pretend to be nice and do nice things for us, and make themselves look good to you, but over time their true character will come out. So that's why you have to be careful with new relationships, that you don't move them in too quickly, that you don't let them in and trust them too quickly before you really know who they are. So as far as self-advocacy goes in healthy relationships, we have several rights that I want to make sure that you understand and claim as your own. So you have the right to express your thoughts, your feelings, and your opinions. You have the right to spend time alone doing the things that you enjoy. You have the right to your own privacy, which is your space, your thoughts, your time, and your body. You have the right to maintain healthy relationships with other men and women. You have the right to make mistakes and learn from them without being humiliated. You have the right to choose who you share your body with. You have the right to be treated with respect. You have the right to say no. And you have the right to walk away from unhealthy relationships. I want to thank you for watching this video, and if you are in a relationship that feels uncomfortable or scary or that you're just not sure about, please talk with your safe person and tell them what's going on and make sure that they are supportive, that they believe you, and that they help you get the help you need. Again, this video is presented by the Butler County Board of Developmental Disabilities. If you want to reach out to us with any questions or feedback, you can email us at communityconnections@butlerdd.org, or you can call us at 513-785-2800. Thanks so much.